Hello, hello. Well, don't look now. Do not adjust your YouTube screens. It is Monday. It's not Tuesday. We're not watching NXT. It is. We're gonna watch Raw because you know what? I had the time. I had the availability, and there's a WWE title match tonight. So why not? Let's go ahead and dive into Monday Night Raw. It's getting ready to start any minute now. We got a tag title match. We got a women's intercontinental title match. Got the WWE title on the line. Should be hearing from Seth freaking Rollins and also the ruler, Oba Femi. So plenty to take a look at tonight. Yeah, NXT will be great this week as well. We'll probably talk about that in a commercial break or something. But as for tonight, let's watch Raw. I did hear about Sheamus, Sophie Duffy. We'll talk about Sheamus tonight too. Obviously, that's going to be a part of the topical discussion this evening. All right, then now forever together. Let's get started. Already getting that recap from Night of Champions where Sami Zayn was crowned WWE champion. Sup, Dossie? Good to see you. Good to see you too, RT Rick. Transitional means changing from one state to a different state. If the belt goes from Cody to Sami back to Cody, then is Sami truly a transitional champ? Yeah, true. A transitional champion is technically someone who is holding the belt until the next guy wins it. So if he were to drop it to Gunther, or dare we say Jey Uso or something like that, then that would be a good transitional champion situation. If anything, that's where I'd like to use language that they hot potatoed the belt. If it goes back to Cody again, just tossing it back and forth. So we'll see. We'll see. I can only imagine Cody and Sami is going to main event the show, but we'll see. And they're in Chicago tonight, so obviously there is a pocket of wrestling fans who have to assume CM Punk is somewhere within the zip code. We'll see if that ends up being the case or not. Yes, Kane was always a Well, actually, the first time Kane won the title, he just lost it right back to Austin. So I don't know if I'd call him a transitional champion in that reign, although it was short-lived. It was 24 hours. Oh, there's Oba Femi. Arrived earlier today. Judgment Day with Danhausen jersey. Well, transitional really is it, I think with calling something transitional, you have to consider if the champion who wins and then loses, if they even had a certain number. Oh, there's Sami driving with the belt. He and there's applause inside the building welcoming him. That's funny. You have to consider how many successful defenses that champion had to really, if you really want to label them as transitional. That's something to consider as well. All right, they're lingering on Sami. Oh, Cody's right there. What's up, last name? There's no way Sami's going to pull
once again, right? Right? I'm telling you right now, Cody, it's not happening. I'm walking out of Chicago still. You just say good luck, and I'll see you. And since you already told me everything that I'm thinking, since you already told me everything that's gonna happen, let me tell you.
You're right.
We'll just see.
Oh, Cody has been jumped. Gunther's here and powerbomb through a table. Looks like Cody's gonna have a rough night to get things started. What kind of makeup does Jessica Carr have on her eyes?
You better be aware that I think your disgrace, your fluke of a champion should have been on the title.
What's up, Swaby?
Sami, I'm going to come for you. And when I do.
Oh, jeez. Did he just kick the car door into Cody's head? Cody's bleeding. Cody's got some sensitive eardrums, dog. Well, we've already started with shenanigans. Is the title match even going to happen? I just asked all those questions, Corey. Get on top of your game, man. Come on. All right, well, here comes Seth Rollins, who was supposed to be opening the show. It was with Dusty Rhodes down in NXT. Yeah, I know, right? Like, it's Dusty's kids versus Dusty's actual kid. It's just pretty wild. Zilla. And they keep rumoring about Zilla. I won't say I believe it when I see it, but you know, I'm gonna wait until he shows up and we'll see what happens. All right, Sing Along with Seth is in full effect. And welcome, guys. Yeah, just so you know, yeah, we'll be live tomorrow for NXT as well. Just shout out to NXT. Kendall Gray versus Natty tomorrow for the NXT Women's Championship. We're very excited about that one. And yeah, we got SummerSlam coming down the pike. August 1st and 2nd, Seth versus Roman, and Oba versus Brock, Hell in a Cell. Sorry. And then Liv versus Io for the Women's Championship. All right, Seth, grab your mic, dog. Let's get this thing going. They really milk the entrances these days. You know, it's something to think about. Going back a number of years, back when like The Undertaker was the only one with a really milked entrance, or post-match Hogan posing for 5 minutes while his music played. But boy, there's like 7 or 8 talents who milk their entrances now, and it's a lot. I can't blame Seth for his fit tonight, though. That brown and black. You know, usually they used to say black and brown makes me frown, but you know that's a good look.
Welcome to Monday Night Raw.
Okay. So
Y'all know me. I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth.
catchphrase time. What's up, Tyrell? You would think so, Swaby. I don't know if we're just going to get a full-on uninterrupted Seth promo. Maybe. Are those CM Punk chants? We're already getting started with that. I did not know that Penta is a former member of that group. That's curious. Right, Swaby. Yeah, he loves Chicago, but boy, does he hate CM Punk. How dare you say something remotely indifferent about CM Punk?
Championship. My business is SummerSlam, getting back the title that I never lost. My business is beating the Tribal Chief. My business is beating the OTC. My business is continuing to own Roman Reigns.
Okay. It's his business. Yeah, I'm curious if maybe Roman's not in the building. Although Chicago's a big place, he could show up. It's a big town. Oh, well, Seth just spoiled it. Roman ain't here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an Uso or a Jacob, though.
I'm not going to run it again. That's just how it is. Roman Reigns did not come here tonight because either A, he didn't think it did anything for him to be here, or B, the check wasn't big enough. That's just who Roman Reigns is, guys.
I feel like WWE talent needs to be careful using money as a way to get heat on each other in this economy. I feel like that's not going to hit the way they want it to over and over again.
And nobody wants to hold Roman Reigns accountable ever. The Shield debuted as a trio. Right? There were three of us.
We're still talking about the Shield.
But it was made abundantly clear that Roman Reigns was the chosen one. Roman was going to be the guy on the marquee. Roman was going to be the big star. Roman was going to be the guy who main evented all the WrestleManias. And it didn't matter if Roman Reigns couldn't cut a promo. It didn't matter if Roman Reigns couldn't wrestle his way out of a wet paper bag. It was always going to be Roman Reigns. And I'll be honest with you, Chicago.
Yes, Waby, I'm with you, man. Like, it's no surprise that they wanted Roman to be their guy. Taking this angle with Seth and Roman feels a little late to the program, if I'm being honest.
How old he is, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm not sure.
You don't know the difference between 4 years old and 7 years old, Seth?
Another one over here, 4, 5, he's 5. We got another 5-year-old.
Is that the dude from How I Met Your Mother?
I was that boy. I was that boy. I sat in big stands. All I ever wanted to do my entire life was to walk down that ramp, was to hold this microphone in my hand, was to get inside this ring. I wanted to main event WrestleManias. I wanted to be the biggest star in this industry. Those are my dreams. And to watch those dreams be handed off to somebody else, that broke something in me. That broke something in me. And every decision that I made after that was in direct response to watching my dreams be handed off to somebody that I didn't feel deserved it.
So now Seth's trying to retcon betraying the Shield because Roman was getting the spot and he didn't deserve it.
When I cashed in at WrestleMania,
It's not a bad philosophy, but again, that kind of philosophy just feels a little late in the game.
I know that sounds bad, and it was, but I truly believe in my heart.
I'm kind of surprised that Seth is not getting whatted right now.
I can still achieve those dreams. I believe that Roman Reigns and I were running the same race for Chicago. Is that wrong? And it occurred to me a couple of years back. Roman Reigns said something about me that changed everything for me. He admitted the fact that he worked 10 times less than I did. And
Yeah.
he made 10 times more than I did. And he said that bullshit with such bravado that it made me want to puke.
You know, it's a special thing
For me,
to not get a reaction in Chicago.
living in some mansion in South Beach. For me, the reward, Chicago, was the work. It was the hustle.
There's a bitterness to Seth in this promo.
It was the ability to come in and make something of yourself. Roman Reigns has to beat me at SummerSlam. Absolutely. You know why he's got to beat me? Because Roman needs to justify what he's been trying to prove to himself for the last 15 years, and that's that he's not a fraud.
I think you lead off with that, Seth. Lead off with him being a fraud and build up to it.
Just as much. Because I need to prove to myself. And that 5-year-old Seth Rollins who was sitting in the stands, I need to prove to him that through hard work, through sacrifice, and dreams, you still can achieve greatness.
LA Knight. Thank you, LA Knight, because God bless you, Seth. That promo was putting me to sleep, dude. LA Knight needs some SummerSlam plans. And I hope he brings some energy. My goodness. Yeah. All right, crowd's awake for LA Knight. All right, he one-handed that mic. Good job, LA Knight, not dropping it this time.
Let me talk to you.
All right, crowd's ready to walk with LA Knight here.
There's no way that for 2 weeks in a row I was going to sit back there and listen to this again. Because last week Roman Reigns sauntered out here, about to bore everybody to sleep. And what did you do? You came out and joined him, and the two of you bored everybody to sleep with the same old trash.
What's up, Chris Wrestling Views?
It's Seth Rollins. It's Roman Reigns. Get me skipping.
Yeah, no lies detected from LA Knight. This about put me to sleep. Yeah, I'm coming on tonight. I had the time to hop on, so I figured I would.
And meanwhile, oh man, what a cheat code. What a great little cheat code. All you had to do was come out here and talk about how great you were, how great he was, and all of a sudden, you get a title shot. I happen to remember a time when you had to win matches.
Nice. Come hang, Chris Wrestling Views.
Just correct me if I'm wrong, but you did lose in the first round of King of Ring, didn't you?
Okay. LA Knight bringing up current events.
I lost in the first round too, but the difference between you, the difference between me, is I'm not making a claim out here to the World Heavyweight Champion. Just
Uh-oh. Watch out for Darkstay last name. Nobody's safe.
Maybe we'll go get haircuts, brother. We'll get the same haircut, brother. Maybe we'll get the same beard, brother. Yeah, why don't we do that? We're the greatest of all time, brother. Greatest at what? How?
Okay, he's woke up the crowd. Yeah, LA Knight spitting truth. I don't think it's going to translate into any wins for him, but at least we can listen to some truth.
Yeah, I've been here as long as you. You're an Iron Man. I'm going to give it to you. You've had so many world title shots. I'm never going to catch you. I understand that. The clock stopped in my favor. However, you want to talk about the greatest generation? Let's talk about just a couple years ago when business was really starting to pick up here. When business was really starting to peak. Yeah, who was at the top of that? It wasn't Seth Rollins. It wasn't Roman Reigns. Yeah, I'm going to give some credit to Cody Rhodes, but let's look at what came storming through the WWE, a force like nobody's ever seen. Everywhere you went, you heard everybody saying. But if we're going to come out here and give ourselves flowers, I'll give myself some. Because here's what happened. Yeah, I'm making my rise. Here's the acclivity. What happens? Here's what Roman Reigns is really good at. I got cut off by the bloodline and the numbers with Roman Reigns.
Please bring up Seth faking his injury.
I get cut off. Now, here we are again. Roman Reigns and the bloodline trying to stuff LA Knight back down to the bottom, but you can't do it. You're the greatest generation of one thing, being the two biggest vomits in this business. You want to talk about what's great?
Call them vomits.
Numbers to hold guys like me down. But the bottom line is this: you can't stop me. You won't stop me. I will rise because I must rise.
Yeah, I'll probably watch Unreal Season 3. I don't know how quickly I'll watch it, but I'll certainly check it out.
You done?
I like how Seth tries to bring up tries to be all Cena-like, you done? And like, no, as Roman Reigns would say, exactly no pop. No one's reacting to Seth in this. He gets boos now. He does need to bring up the fake injury, Swaby. Against the ropes. I have not seen that, Chris Wrestling Views. I have to check that out. Oh, great. Seth is doing the same Triple H thing. Your time's going to come, brother.
That I never lost.
What's up, Shamanica? Good to see you this evening.
You can be the first person I will put in the dirt.
Anybody else coming? Nope. Well, I mean, listen, I appreciate. Wait, who's here? Jimmy. Jimmy waiting for LA Knight. No Jay, no Jacob, just Jimmy. You know, I mean, listen, there's something to be said that LA Knight keeps getting left in the mix. Like, he hasn't been pushed to the back of the line. He keeps being present in the Bloodline story. So they're doing something. It may not be a thing we like. Oh, Gunther and Nick Aldis is here. Obviously, the SmackDown title is being defended tonight. Gunther again telling Nick Aldis he failed as a wrestler.
No, I'm trying to protect the interest of SmackDown after you punch my main event. Save it. The industry is bigger than your ego, and your ego is why we're in this situation. Really? Yes. Yeah. If you would have done something different, you'd done that to you. You know what? You're the one who lost your temper. Don't come here and try and lecture me or run the show. Yeah, don't show me. You were both about ego, Mr. Floyd show, because you're doing a crappy job of it, aren't you? Because Cody's been attacked, and he might be hurt badly, and now it goes definitely on you.
Mr. Both shows.
What a mess.
Huh. Well, you know, people jump to the conclusion, myself included, that we might be getting Gunther versus Nick Aldis. What if we got Adam Pearce versus Nick Aldis? I wouldn't hate that either, especially if they gave something a little more substantial to Gunther. But you know what? We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, here come the tag team champions. No one out pizzas the Street Profits, defending against whatever's left of the Vision, Austin Theory and Logan Paul. Hopefully this is the final. No, excuse me, not Logan Paul. Austin Theory and Braun Breaker. Hopefully this might be the final nail in the coffin of the Vision. I'm ready to see Braun Breaker move on to greener pastures and something. Because Paul Heyman not even apparently involved with the Vision anymore. So, or at least with Theory, if last week was any indication. So we'll see what happens. Dom and Diego Lopez in a DoorDash commercial. Royce Keys versus Gunther. Interesting. That could be an interesting combination.
One Bank presents Max Evans. He's a credit. His eyes are bigger than his wallet. And his credit score pays the price. You see, Max doesn't know he should only use 30% or less of his credit limit, because using his full line can lower his score. Don't be like Max.
I have not watched X-Men 97 Season 2 yet.
Credit One Bank. Oh, what's it? This first one, I'll knock you off.
I'm the mayor.
We're having a watch party.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. What's up? Unlimited home internet that keeps everyone connected. The connection matters. It has to be 18. This is Arby's cheesesteak with 100% Angus steak and melty Cooper cheese. Some say it's meat and cheese done right, and some people don't say anything because, frankly, it's really tough to mouthful. Arby's, we have the meat. Play like this, play like that, play fast, play hard, play with the goal, play without the goal, and still win. Play together.
Okay.
Rematch of the rematch and play against your BFF and other 8-9-year-old grandma.
Yeah. Gunther and Nick get like physical. That's going to be wild for sure. That's a good question. Last name, would Braun turn on Theory? Honestly, I feel like that's the right call, because you can put a little more viciousness back on Braun Breaker. And I've said more than once, I think Austin Theory would be far better as a babyface. I think he's a bit of a babyface just as a person anyways. Seeing his interviews, he seems like a really likable guy. And I think that would serve him far better. But we'll see what happens. Sheamus no longer with WWE. Bittersweet, but at the same time, I don't know, man. What was he going to do? Like, he put over Rusev, Rusev's not even doing anything anymore. And then he had a couple of cameos at the end of John Cena's tour. Then backstage with Kathy Redmond.
How much pressure are you guys feeling heading into this title opportunity?
Oh, Heyman's here now. What's he going to say?
You did not even take out Seth freaking Rollins. And you didn't even take out Joe Hendry.
Uh-oh, you said his name.
Street Profits, come back with something worthy of your wise man. Or don't come back to me at all.
Okay. Heyman has thrown down the gauntlet. He said, come back with those titles or don't come back at all. We'll see how that goes. Now, the camera angle suggested he was talking to Theory specifically, but I think that was kind of meant for all of them. Yeah, Braun needs to be free of these guys. The Vision was a different animal when it was Breaker and Reed. But Theory, man, this NWO B team version, this Stevie Ray version of the Vision ain't it. I don't feel like the Street Profits need to drop the titles here, though. Chris Wrestling Views, we're all kind of talking around it. What if Bronson Reed comes back and that's how they kick Austin Theory out of the group? It's not a terrible thought. All right, Montez Ford and Braun Breaker starting things off. Yeah, I think Street Profits retain, and then we get some angle advancement with whatever's left of the Vision, but we'll see what happens.
Austin Theory and off attack and Vision help attack titles for 83 days before their loss.
Wow, standing moonsault. Theory's got to take the pin here, I would think. It would take something really catastrophic, I think, for Braun Breaker to take the pin, which is not out of the realm of possibility. But Logan Paul with a lot of heat in the Chicago crowd. Well, there's a good chance Sami Zayn still holds onto that title tonight unless they pivot and make another title match tonight. Sophie Dopey, I am a physical media fan, so I'm disappointed to hear about their news. But also at the same time, I don't play a ton of PlayStation anymore, so it's not like current games I'm really attached to not having physical copies of. So whatever I already have a physical copy of, I'll just keep. But no, I'm not a fan of getting rid of physical media. I think it's important to have the option of physical media out there. Now, I know that there's some games that are so big they can't fit on a disc, so I understand that. But generally speaking, I wish they wouldn't do that, because if they just decide they want to remove it, you can't keep it. Same with games on your iPhone. Like if they get offloaded and the App Store doesn't carry it anymore, that thing's gone. That happened to me with a WWE game in the a WWE game I had. Oh, ropes are being run, Steiner line. There was a WWE game, a WrestleFest game for the iPhone. I had, oh gosh, it's probably 10, 15 years ago now. But I like deleted it off my phone or whatever. And then when I came back to try to get it again a year or two later, it was gone from the App Store, and I'd paid for it. And there was no way for me to restore it. That's dope, Swaby. Yeah, I'm actually looking at my stack of PS3 games right over here to my left. You're right. I don't know if it's my left, you're right or not. Over this way. I was thinking about listing them on eBay because I actually have a couple of NCAA football games that are hard to come by. I mean, there's a little less in demand now that PS5 is actually creating those college football games now. But still, there's a part of me that wants to hang on to them, and a part of me that knows I'm not really going to play them. But at the same time, how much harder will they be to come by, if you decide you want to play again without having to pay for them all over again? Yeah, I never bought my movies from PlayStation. That's one thing. All the movies I ever had digital copies of, for the most part, were versions of Blu-rays or DVDs that came with a digital copy, and go from there. Is that Romeo Moreno from NXT with Cody in that commercial, or just an actor? He kind of looked like that Romeo kid, the one that teams with Noam Dar. That'd be a trip. That an NXT kid got a commercial with Cody. That leads me to believe it's probably just an actor.
Whoa, you have a tweet? Actually, I'm very That's now you can actually catch up over DiGiorno wood-fired style pizza. Right from your oven. Perfectly crispy and big crust. You thought you could only get at a restaurant. They want to chase down that fry who always says a payback later. It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno wood-fired style pizza.
$3.99. That's dope right there. That's a deal you almost can't pass up, Swaby. I love finding a super cheap deal on PlayStation's store, man. Just great stuff. We should be coming back to Raw now. Yeah, that was the nice thing too, Swaby, is that I got a lot of cheap deals when I first got my PS5. I bought it used from a friend, and I completely missed the PS4 generation. So I bought a lot of PS4 games just to catch up on titles I'd never played, and PS4 graphics still felt like a major upgrade to me because the last system I used to have was PS3. So it was a cost-effective solution for me. That's how I got introduced to Ghost of Tsushima. Finally played GTA 5 and got into Red Dead Redemption 2. I still actually haven't played that very much though, so I want to get through that eventually. I loved the first Red Dead Redemption back on PS3. I played that for hours and hours. But starting at the beginning of Red Dead 2, man, a press power slam breaker. You got to be careful, dude. Somersault, clothesline misses. Man, Tez is so agile. Now here comes Dawkins. Doomsday blockbuster coming. Got it. Whoa. Breaker late on the cue there, just on time. Tez trying to toss Breaker out of the ring. But he just got, over the head, belly to belly to out of the ring. Dawkins does that sort of cyclone stinger splash. But Dawkins is alone with the vision now. Oh, here comes Logan with the Nux. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Vince McMahon was king of what a maneuver. He was just awful. Oh, Logan with a second set of Nux. Smart. Now, Braun's got him, but surely the ref is seeing it. Oh, Logan Paul's distracting the ref. Oh, Dawkins punches him first. And now Ford diving over the top to Braun Breaker, man. Give me that Tez Braun Breaker singles feud, man. Those guys could tear it up. And Braun Breaker could spear him out of his shoes. Oh, Dawkins got the Nux. So we're either getting a DQ or a finish. But Dawkins is taking his time, dude. Who's here? Maxine. Maxine with the low blow. We're going to get the vision. 1, 2. Not like this. Not like this. Vision Maxine. Preferable to Alpha Maxine, though. That fit complements are better. Well, the vision is still a thing. So we still get more vision. Now she's got eyes at Theory. Whoa. What is that, Cam Hendricks? Well, the Vision officially has a new member now. So she is, I don't know if she's married or if she's engaged to Cam Hendricks in NXT, the guy who's been trying to interfere with Tony D'Angelo and Naraku. Not Mason Rook, the other guy. So, yeah, here we go. There we go. Got gold and got the girl. I got pyro and everything. And Theory is centered in the camera shot too. Granted, Maxine's centered in the camera shot. She's on Theory, but still. Well, there we go. Angle development. My father, you've been here the entire time. Well, I'm glad you're here, brother.
But I can't sign off tonight. Yeah, I gotta get some other clips.
Pierce and Cody.
you need scans, can we take them now? I have an ambulance on still.
Currently, Cody is not cleared to compete tonight.
Cody Rhodes with his championship opportunity tonight. Meanwhile, there's the Intercontinental champion, Ruca. She will defend the title against the Judgment Day's
Ruca defending against Raquel. I certainly don't expect Sol to lose the title tonight, but what I am curious about is, will they plug anyone else into Sami's title match tonight? And will we see a new champion as a result of that? It depends on who it is. Depends on if they do that or not. But it would be a heck of a thing for us to not get a WWE title match when that has been carrying the brunt of the advertising for tonight with the advertising of the show and them doing away with it in the first 5 minutes of the program. So I'm curious, will they bring someone else in? And if they did, who would it be? And will that lead us to some kind of triple threat match at SummerSlam? Because let's just say, just for funsies, let's say Randy Orton is brought in tonight as a surprise competitor. Randy has the element of surprise, beats Sami for the title. Sami says, I wasn't ready. I was not properly prepared. So I want a rematch at SummerSlam. Cody is like, hey, I was attacked and was never cleared. I want the title shot I never got to have. And what if SummerSlam gives us Randy, Sami, Cody? Doesn't have to be Randy, but it could be somebody. If it was Sheamus' last name, I would die laughing at the IWC and the Dirt Sheet Riders. I would die laughing. Well, I wouldn't die because I would miss my family too much, and you guys too. But Street Profits have lost the titles, so the Vision are new tag team champions. Sol Ruca is going to be defending when we come back against Raquel Rodriguez for the Intercontinental title. And we'll see if Sami Zayn ends up defending the WWE title tonight or not. It won't be against Cody currently because Gunther made sure that wasn't it. Now, I have been what feels like a lone voice of dissent on what I'm about to say, but I have seen multiple people kind of float the idea. What about Sami? What about Sami at Saturday night's main event? The thing about Saturday night's main event is it's not on Netflix. It's not on, USA. It's not on ESPN. It's on Peacock. And they don't even do NXT on Peacock anymore. Like the last Saturday night's main event, it was the first Peacock exclusive SNME, right? Two things. They're plugging it now. The last one had Penta versus Ethan Page and the Street Profits versus the Vision. Like it was a glorified episode of Raw, which the matches weren't bad, but it wasn't world title stuff. And so, anyways, I just don't see there being a WWE title match. We're already getting Danhausen versus JD McDonough being advertised for Saturday night's main event. I feel like that's more in line with what we're going to get for that show. That show is also attached to Fanatics Fest in New York. It's during Fanatics Fest. So I just feel like it's not going to be a big time Saturday night's main event type of show anymore. Not unless they find a new distributor, because they're not on NBC anymore either. Just the Peacock streaming service. Well, there we go. Will Heyman greet them backstage now? Logan's hyping him up. Uh-oh, who are they looking at? Oh, there's Heyman.
It's only a first step. I'm being too harsh. At least someone got something accomplished today.
No, he's talking to Maxine.
I was talking to her.
Ha ha! Maxine's a Heyman girl. Okay, I'm kind of low-key enjoying Paul Heyman kind of ragging on the Vision. Why are we lingering on this camera shot, though? Is someone... Oh, Tozawa and Otis, brokenhearted. Listen, Otis, as a performer, if they do this right, they could really build something with Otis and Tozawa versus, you know, Theory and Breaker. Breaker feels too good to be a part of this feud, though. No, Sophie Dofi. Becky Lynch was she was threatening to kill Heyman after Seth got betrayed by Braun Breaker, and they dropped that right away. Last week, Liv Morgan in her numbers game taking on EO, jumping her.
So tonight we do everything in our power to make sure that New Leaf Chicago, our new women's Intercontinental champion.
Yeah, Swaby, like I almost feel Swaby, I almost feel that if Logan Paul wasn't hurt, he would be in the Braun Breaker position. Because that story works a lot better with Logan Paul in theory than Braun Breaker in theory. Braun Breaker, like, he's a level above everybody else in that story. So I would much rather see him focus on singles thing, but I guess they want to keep that. I guess they're wanting to keep the story going though, and so they're just plugged him in. But we'll see what happens. All right, Chris Wrestling Views. You think Soul's not winning? Do you think she's dropping the title though? I could see there being definite shenanigans. All right. Soul Ruca, Raquel Rodriguez. Intercontinental title coming up. Raquel isn't winning. My bad, Chris. Okay. Yeah, dude, don't we ask that question every week? Doesn't the internet ask that question every week? Why is the Judgment Day still a thing? I feel like SummerSlam wouldn't be a terrible place to disband them. But we'll see. We'll see. Eventually, they can't last forever, right? Because they've been around for a while. I tell you what, dude. One thing I miss about streaming NXT, there might still be ad breaks, but they do a lot of picture-in-picture ad breaks. And there are so many ads on Raw. Trying to sell me Twinkies right now. Yeah, I think the Terror Twins could have dismantled the Judgment Day. I think that wouldn't have been bad. Sol and Io versus Liv and Raquel. Yeah, you're getting in your Teddy Long bag, Chris Wrestling Views. Tag team match. Okay. I mean, that does seem like a page out of the old WWE Monday Night Raw playbook and stretching plans out towards a PLE. So there's a real possibility of that for sure.
I'll produce your child's food allergy reactions have been exceeded. Ask an allergist about solar.
Some bucket list. The $10 one. Monday nuggets. Tuesday fried chicken. Wednesday wings. Thursday tenders. Friday nuggets again. Now that's living life to the fullest. Get a $10 bucket of a day from KFC.
I did see that Damian Priest showed up in AAA over the weekend. I think that's a great idea. That way he can, I feel like he can make more of an impact there, and have a little bit of a renaissance down there. Give him a fresh scenery. Speaking of SummerSlam ad right now. Yeah, I'm curious how Dom's still mega champion, isn't he? Like, has he even defended it in AAA for a while?
Individual and combo tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster. Speaking of SummerSlam, we got a massive announcement for next week in Dallas.
Oh, IC title gauntlet match. A gauntlet match next week. Come on. Come on, Gable. Run the gauntlet, Gable. Let's go. That's for the SummerSlam title match. Come on, Gable. I wouldn't be mad at Javon either, but come on, Gable.
Please welcome your Intercontinental Champion,
Penta, interview time.
Wonderful. Thank you for asking. Listen, next week we find out the #1 contender to that very title. What are your thoughts on the field?
I'm excited for Golden Match. You know, I know names like Joe Hendry, Dragon Lee, Ethan Page, and Rusev. And
Yep.
Rusev and Ethan Page. You know his name? You will not get.
And Rusev and Ethan Page.
After sharing the ring with me, he's found his way out of the gauntlet and on the shelf. And crushed. Hey.
Hicieron el pinche cinco pinche par de habladores. Escuchen and watch what you say about Brady Sr.
And you better start learning English before I crush you too.
Hey!
Pop for Gable.
We do. We absolutely do not. Listen, we'll get to your big part of this job, but let me do my part first. Let's go negotiate with Pierce. Get ourselves a little tag match with these two, and you can enjoy the show, champ. Come on.
Don't look now, but they've let Rusev discover his personality again and possibly aligned him with Ethan Page. Guys, that's a softball. Let it happen. And it looks like we're getting Ethan Page and Rusev against Dragon Lee and Chad Gable. I feel like, Chris Wrestling Views, I feel like that's the beauty in the line, is that Rusev isn't really American either. So, like, him trying to be like, go speak English is an extra layer of ignorance for him, which I think is great. As a heel, I mean, that's just how I took it anyways. Oh my gosh. Cody has gone to the local medical facility to get checked out. This is feeling very much like the Clash of the Champions where Sting got attacked when he was supposed to defend against Rick Rude for the U.S. title. And then he made this hero's return in the last 10 minutes of the show. Then he lost the title anyway because he was beat to pieces. That'd be hilarious if they pulled that off. Cody's the kind of, I mean this in an endearing way because it's the name of my channel. Cody's the kind of mark that would redo that whole story to be the Sting in that situation and put over Sami. But we'll see what happens.
down to the mat, shoulders down. So we'll get the shoulder up and again, powering her down to the mat. So we'll get her shoulder up again. Another rich kick out that time by Ruca. We have said this on a number of occasions.
Whoa. Whoa, okay, Soul. Soul, by the way, really starting to find her footing in the main roster ring now. You know, the first few weeks she came up to the main roster. She had a little bit, I wouldn't want to call it the yips, but a little bit of a challenging time finding her way again. But I think she's doing a lot better. She's almost to the form that I remember.
Something up there. That's why we talk about high risks in this business.
Yeah, and listen, there's no shame in getting reps on main event. Like, you got to get comfortable in that ring, and a lot of these stars like Sol Ruca and others who didn't come from indie wrestling backgrounds, who are really still pretty fresh in the business, got to be able to find ways to practice other than just going to the PC and doing their gym ring stuff. Like, they need to find ways to be in front of the crowd without doing the 290-year house show schedule, you know? Ruca, though, totally, literally just looked at her and spoke. Wow, springboard corkscrew. Okay, Soul. I'm glad she's wearing pants now, though, because if she wasn't, she'd be having a heck of a wardrobe malfunction tonight. Thank goodness for layers. So, oh, another springboard results in a choke slam, backflip reverse. Oh, goodness gracious. Raquel ate her alive with that clothesline. Only two. Caught it right on the chin there. Jeez. She just got ate up with that. All right. Well, we're on another ad break, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Well, Rawls, creating some questions so far tonight. Some intrigue. We have new tag team champions. Street Profits dropped the titles back to the division thanks to a freshly turned Maxine Dupree, who has gained the admiration of one Paul Heyman now. LA Knight attacked by Jimmy Uso, excuse me. And Cody Rhodes absolutely just mollywalloped by Gunther involving a car door. So we'll see if he's able to compete against Sami Zayn for the title tonight. We'll see what happens.
The 2026 MLB draft starts here, and the next generation takes the field for the All-Star Futures game on NBC and Peacock. Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfect. Perfect. Every time you drive after drinking,
I did see that El Grande was at the World Cup game, and he got a pop from the crowd too, man. Who would have thought that their next actual big crossover star would have been a second generation El Grande Americano as a second generation joke gimmick, which is pretty wild. Pretty wild. All right, we're almost out of this break. We're about 30 seconds away from getting back to the show.
It's John Cena. Today we're talking Shine is free rewards. Now you can get 5% cash back on stuff like groceries or gas, dining in, dining out, your electric bills, your phone bills, your streaming bills. All those purchases build your credit. You park that cash back in a high yield savings account. You're hitting your goals in no time, and that is fee-free banking. Okay? Oh, sorry, I thought it was done. Don't bank the old way. Switch to Chime, America's #1 choice for banking.
12,458 Allstate Arena, Chicago tonight. 3 scheduled championship matches. Raquel Rodriguez, Sol Ruca for the Intercontinental Championship. Already, the World Tag Team titles have changed hands tonight. The Street Profits losing to the Vision thanks to Maxine Dupree.
All right, we're back.
Physical condition, shoulder, and Alex Ruca now. Roll through. Raquel able to spin out of it. Great move that time by Jessica Carr, the official, as Raquel slowly.
Hey, Celeste. Welcome to the chat. Springboard crossbody, middle of the ring. Only 2, though.
Cody Rhodes, who was attacked earlier tonight, as we take another look at this crossbody by the Intercontinental Champion that took down the challenger but couldn't put Raquel away. Cody scheduled to take on Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship in our main event tonight. Cody's attacked by Gunther. Cody's been sent to the hospital for diagnostic scans, so we still don't know what's going to happen in our main event later on tonight. Cody wasn't just attacked, his head was slammed in a car door by the ring general. Yeah, it was just a disgusting assault by a very bitter and jealous.
Soul having a hard time getting Raquel off her feet.
Ruca now doing her best to chop down the powerhouse of the Judgment Day. Raquel Rodriguez.
Whoa, big drop kick. That sends Raquel down. Kip up. Now what's Soul going to do? Oh, Shining Wizard. Only 2.
Take another look. Running knee from Ruca. Blocked the jaw of Rodriguez. And Soul has an opportunity.
Ooh, springboard frog splash, but doesn't get anything out of it. Oh, Roxy's here now.
So much for your theory that Raquel wanted to do this on her own. Raquel is still doing it on her own. How do we know that Roxanne's not just here to cheer on her?
It's a Hana bomb. No. Sends Raquel into the corner. Now Roxy with the distraction. Soul Snatcher, nope, thwarted by Liv Morgan. And Raquel drops Soul, middle of the ring, up on the shoulders. Something like a TKO move. Only 2. Soul still kicks out. Oh, Io is in the house. And she is not going to stand for this injustice. Music's playing, but she's not here. Oh, nope. She was on the barricade and dives and takes out Roxanne. And she's got feet for everybody. Super kick for Liv. And now waving at Raquel. And nope. Io fakes out a shot at Raquel and moonsaults Liv and Roxy. And now Raquel caught slipping. Soul Snatcher. 1, 2, retains. Soul still your IC champ. Thanks to Io. All right. Well done, Soul. And the shenanigans of the Judgment Day do not come to fruition. They are thwarted this evening by the combined efforts of the Intercontinental Champion Sol Ruca and Io Sky.
Liv Morgan's got a problem. A big
Io just sitting on the announce table vibing. Judgment Day wouldn't be a bad time to send the SummerSlam wouldn't be a bad time to set the Judgment Day apart.
How about the way that we kicked off Monday Night Raw last week?
All right, we're getting a recap of Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar now.
Oba, I want to make sure I heard you right. You did. So SummerSlam. You're sure, 100% sure?
Yes, I'm sure. It needs to happen. I will be the one to put an end to it. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 King of the Ring, Oba Femi. Now the destiny has played out. She's not finished with me. The choice has to be made.
Congratulations. That's a hell of a feat. King of the Ring. So my apologies, Oba. I have not watched the show. Everybody knows I don't watch the show. I got to rely on Mr. Heyman over here. Paul tells me that you're really good at calling me names.
Oh yeah,
When I'm not here,
yeah. Oba is a big man,
Brock Lesnar, coward.
as is Brock. These are two very, very large men.
You got a pretty big decision to make. Maybe I can help you out with that. You know what they say? Talk, get hit.
And you said I called you names behind your back. Well, guess what? You're in front of me, and you're still a bitch.
Mm.
You
Oba's got to end this.
versus Brock Lesnar, SummerSlam.
He's got to end it at SummerSlam. Just end Brock Lesnar.
You finished this. No more finish.
All right. Let's hear from Oba.
Brock Lesnar advocate think of all this? Paul Heyman is here.
Oh, Paul Heyman's coming out next. I'm not sure that Brock is here, though. Because they be advertising when Brock's going to show up, usually. Okay. Yet another commercial break, because that's what we do on Raw.
We commercial.
Yeah, we commercial big time. How goes it, my dear?
Well,
You can just put that
took
stuff.
away my seat.
You just put it on the floor. It's fine. It's just where I put the extra stuff. You know what, Swaby? I'll do you one better. I think Oba and Brock and Hell in a Cell should main event night too. I think that match has far more interest than any other match because I mean, you know, conventional wisdom is going to tell us that Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns is going to main event night two, and you could not convince me with anything that match is going to gauge more interest from the crowds than Oba and Brock 3 Hell in a Cell. So I think it should be the main event of the show. And if that means they have to add like a retirement stipulation to Brock, or I don't know, if they have to add something to justify it, I mean, Hell in a Cell should be enough of a justification, to be honest. But yeah, that should be the main event. Nah, they're not opening with Hell in a Cell. It'll definitely be the main event of one of the nights. I think. I think the one of the title matches has a better chance of going on first than Oba and Brock. I think that's got to be the one where, you know, because they've been giving away the first hour of these PLEs for free on ESPN lately. I think this time they're finally going to turn the screws to your average consumer who is not paying for the PLE. To be like, no, if you want to see Oba and Brock in the cell, you're going to have to pay for the service or, you know, sign up for it. And I think they will, because they've already given us Oba and Brock. Well, they've given us Oba twice in the free hour before. So I can't remember where they started off with in Clash in Italy. But Oba and Brock was one of the free matches at WrestleMania. The Oba match, the Oba King of the Ring match with Jey Uso, was the opening match for Night of Champions. So yeah. Well, now I'm wondering. So I'm gonna look it up. Clash in Italy. I cannot recall what the opening matches were. It was the first two. Nope, that was Cody, Gunther, and then Rhea and Jade. Brock and Oba was the first match once they went straight to PLE. All right, the third season of Unreal coming out in about 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes.
WWE Unreal Season 3 premieres July 21st, 2 weeks from tomorrow, here on Netflix. But right now, a sneak peek.
Okay, we get a sneak peek of Unreal. Cena. Oh, it's like a trailer. They showed this on social media earlier today.
We know there is a finality. The last time will indeed be.
Why is everything? Who's the next big thing? Like Braun Breaker.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to cover, the end of Cena's career. They're going to do some profiles maybe on Braun Breaker, Oba Femi, Trick Williams, and Liv Morgan's injury return, as well as AJ Lee's return too.
The last scene walk through dancing partner to get hurt. Oh, I'm okay. You hear that all the time. Just give me a second.
No one walks away on skates.
And if I get dinged up in the middle of the match, quit. What's it say about me?
I heard that Netflix did something with the blood. I don't know that ESPN did, but yeah, I don't know.
It might not seem like a big deal, but everything's just so much better when she's there. What we do is vital. It's one of myself.
It's not just your money that depends on it, it's everybody's money.
I feel good. I feel ready. I know the work that I had to put in.
This has consumed me for 23 years.
I needed to change things for everyone who came behind me.
It's everything I've ever worked for.
There's nothing that I want to do.
The future is now.
This is a moment they're going to replay for.
I've never said I didn't like Unreal. You're confusing me with AJ. AJ hates Unreal. I see it for what it is. There's a few others that I mean, there's a few things about it that I would like to see a little differently, but for the most part, I appreciate it. All right, Paul Heyman should be making his way to the ring. We'll see if he incurs the wrath of Oba Femi. All right, SummerSlam will be on at 3 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, August 1st and 2nd. Probably Sophie Dophie. I would imagine 2 seasons of Unreal a year, because you're covering about 6 months worth of content each time. Spider-Man comes out the day before Sophie Dophie, July 31st. So that's going to be a big weekend.
Came into WWE like he owns the joint, which he doesn't. I mean, he sauntered.
Yeah, that weekend.
Like he's King Schlong until he got hunted by a beast in the little Fennies. And that hurt more than almost anything Oba has ever experienced. Waters up your eyes.
Paul Heyman probably could have run that line through another draft.
suffer inside hell in a cell.
So Paul Heyman's out here selling the Hell in a Cell match since Brock's not there. Surely we'll see Oba though. He tends to make every Raw.
Oba Femi has inspired Brock Lesnar. Oba Femi has compelled the beast to emerge from Brock Lesnar. Oba Femi has motivated Brock Lesnar. Oba Femi has made the biggest mistake of his life by accepting the challenge of Brock Lesnar.
Okay, Heyman.
You're not coming out of Hell in a Cell, Oba. There's no way.
For real, Chris.
You know how.
Heyman looks like he's been up 48 hours straight.
Will destroy Oba Femi inside
Yeah.
hell in a second.
Thank you. I was about to say I need Oba to walk down Paul right now. Because somebody needs to call out the fact that ever since Oba pretty much dog walked Brock at WrestleMania, Brock has been fighting like he's the Miz or something, like cheap shotting, attacking people from behind. He doesn't act like the unbeatable beast anymore. He does wrestle like a coward now, which I mean should be by design, right? Because the greater story being told is that he is intimidated by Oba, but he won't admit it because he's Brock Lesnar. And of course, he'd be too proud to say that. But his actions are telling on him. And I just wish they would say that on the mic. Here comes Oba. Chicago strutting. Carver. Heyman looks concerned, as well he should be.
You love to talk so much, don't you?
Mm.
That is why I came out here. So you won't be lonely. Give you a face to at least talk to.
Heyman looks nervous now.
If you learned last week, talk shit, get hit. But I'll talk facts. I'll state for the record. You know why I'm valuable? I'm valuable because I prevent people from making bad mistakes. You made a bad mistake. Not at WrestleMania. At WrestleMania, you accomplished something over. I got to give you a ton of credit for. You proved to the entire world that Brock Lesnar is beatable. And then in Italy, Brock Lesnar proved Oba Femi is beatable too. So now comes the trilogy.
Beatable?
And we have to find out which one of you goes on being that unbeatable
Okay.
Examine who's stepping into Hell in a Cell. You're not stepping into Hell in a Cell with just anybody.
All right. Paul Heyman's about to go down the whole resume again.
Brock Lesnar.
Well, Chicago is definitely in Oba's corner, which you love to hear.
Was the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC heavyweight champion of the world. There's no one that fights in a cage like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar destroyed The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell was invented by The Undertaker. And Brock Lesnar didn't just beat Undertaker once inside Hell in a Cell. Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker twice inside Hell in a Cell. You didn't accept a challenge to step into just a cage with Brock Lesnar. You didn't accept a challenge for a cell. That cell is the Brocktagon. And inside
That sounds like a t-shirt that doesn't need to be made.
Lesnar is the winner.
Yeah, it's merch.
He's the beast you cannot beat. He's the mountain you, Oba Femi, cannot climb.
That's the hard thing about the build to this feud is like Paul Heyman can say till he's blue in the face that Oba Femi can't beat him. We've all seen him do it decisively.
Only one man will leave Hell in a Cell with that reputation intact, that he is truly the unbeatable star in WWE. And that man is not a man at all. He's a beast. And his name is Brock Lesnar. And the beatable one is going to be Oba.
Do not let him leave the ring. Yeah, no, he really tries to make Brock's name sound like an event. I mean, Paul's talked about that in interviews before. Like it's very much an intentional tactic of his to make him sound like the monster they actually want to market him to be. That's why he screams his name the way he does, which is a bit much. But then again, so is wrestling.
Clients Brock Lesnar showed up last week. And you know what that tells me? After weeks and weeks of calling him out and calling him names and saying everything under the sun to no avail, seemingly, he finally shows up. That tells me that every word that I said got to him. Every single thing I said about him got under his skin. And now he can pretend like he doesn't watch the show. The fact that he showed up tells me he definitely watches the show. But then you're here now to do your usual damage control and tell me about how great Brock Lesnar is, and you keep writing all these checks that Brock probably cannot even cash. Because that's what you are, Paul. You've been reduced. You're less than an advocate. You're just a mouth.
Less than an advocate.
And that's the thing about a mouth. Mouths need to be fed. But how can you feed if you have no head? That's why you're really out here telling everybody how great Brock Lesnar is.
How can you feed if you have no head?
Telling us about Randy Couture and Undertaker when neither of those men are Oba Femi. That's why you're here. Because you're scared. Once again, you are scared and you are here for damage control. Every man knows when his time has come, whether it be the beginning or the end. And trust me, Paul, this is the end. This is the final chapter. This is where the book closes. This is Oba Femi versus versus Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell.
Say you're closing the book on Brock Lesnar.
SummerSlam, Minneapolis, Minnesota, in front of his friends, in front of his family, in front of his wife. I'll beat him in front of his children.
Come on, Oba.
Because he has been the single
Come on.
that stood between me and destiny, me and salvation, and I've learned a very valuable lesson now. You have to walk through hell in order to get to heaven. So tell your clients, I'll see him in hell.
Tell your client, I'll see him in hell. Beat him in front of his kids. Yes.
I'm backstage with Undisputed WWE.
He's just got the gift, man. Oba's got the gift. Him and Trick both got the gift. They can talk.
Cody Rhodes all night long. You are supposed to defend this championship.
Sammy's gearing up to defend.
Unfortunately, I can confirm that Cody Rhodes is no longer able to compete tonight.
Jackie Redmond confirming Cody's not competing. Oh no, Chicago's already chanting for CM Punk.
Some might say the last real good guy around here. I don't wish ill upon Cody or anyone for that matter, especially Cody. I was kind of looking forward to testing myself against, QB1. Look, just I don't think it was meant to be.
Last name, if it was KO, I would lose my mind.
Championship on Raw.
I mean, it could be Punk, but
Let's just wait to SmackDown, figure this out on Friday, see what the landscape looks like then.
nope. Sammy's already trying to cancel a match.
Sweet home Chicago. I promised Chicago a championship match.
Right.
And that is exactly what they're going to get.
All right, here's the deal, guys.
You don't be worried about that. You're the champion. You prepare like you're defending the title because you are in the main event tonight. Sami,
Adam
it is official.
Adam says that Sami is defending the title. Adam and Nick have been chirping at each other. I can almost guarantee you that Adam has picked a Raw superstar to take that title from Sami, and Punk might be the call. I think that might be where it is. Are there any other high-profile guys that aren't current champions on Raw? I mean, I don't think it's going to be like a LA Knight or somebody. We'll see. Although, what if it was like Drew or somebody too? That would be nutty. All right. Chad Gable, Dragon Lee, Paige and Rusev coming up next. Some of you guys are a bit younger than me, generationally speaking. The Chad Gable's theme music is a page right out of the Jimmy Hart era of like 1993, 1994 WCW themes. Like, go look up Dustin Rhodes, The Natural theme song. Like that kind of stuff is what we're looking at here. Give your boy a second. I'm going to go grab a drink during this commercial break, and I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll have a tag match. All right, people. I'm back. Is he losing to Punk? I mean, I'm not sold on that idea just yet. I will say it is a possibility, right? It is a possibility. Speaking of, someone mentioned X-Men 97 earlier. I went to my storage unit this weekend and grabbed a few action figures for the set. Speaking of X-Men 97, with appearances by the man himself, Apocalypse. And yeah. Also, this is a super old school. A super old school Superman figure, no cape, but yeah, Super Friends style. And we got Storm in the house. Also, shout out. Let's see, it's Phoenix, Rogue, Psylocke, Gambit. Yeah, everybody's favorite, yours and mine, Gambit. And oh, I got a Carnage in there, but it looks like he's lost his leg. That's a disappointment. Exodus, Sabretooth. Also, shout out if any of you guys know who that is. I won't tell you, but that's a whole nother thing. Well, I'll tell you this right now. Rusev's entrance is still top notch. Top notch. There's a part of me that wouldn't mind seeing Paige and Rusev win tonight because I really enjoyed their chemistry earlier backstage. But we're on the Gable agenda through SummerSlam. Gable, IC title, or nothing.
Mutually beneficial partnership. Yeah, but let's see how well they work together next week. It's a gauntlet match with 5 other. That's a ridiculous thing to say, but because it's actually fun. The point of making is what if it comes down to Rusev and Ethan Page? What's going to happen then if they go one-on-one in the gauntlet match? We would find out who the best man truly is.
All right, Page and Dragon in the ring. So just a reminder, we'll also be on for NXT tomorrow night. Natty taking on Kendall Gray for the NXT title. And then 2 number 1 contenders matches, 2 fatal 4-way matches. One for the women's North American title and one for the tag team titles. So those should be some interesting pairings. Also, Shiloh Hill taking on Nico Vance of the Culling, or what's left of the Culling. All right, Rusev, the mean suplex. Rusev Day chants in Chicago. It's kind of wild that Rusev Day is still over. Here comes Gable. German suplex. Here we go. Triple Germans. Nope, just doubles. Big overhead by Chad, and another one for Ethan. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to see Vikingo. Who was it that injured him last week already? I can't remember. Was it Carver?
Ruca saving his buddy.
What's up, Anthony Manzano? Good to see you. That's not a terrible notion. I would hope that overhead suplex to Dragon Lee out of the ring as a plancha, pretty wild. I would enjoy them still staying true to Oba's title shot, but also I wouldn't hate him winning the Royal Rumble either. But honestly, I'm totally fine with him just taking the belt off Roman whenever he feels like it. Like, I don't feel like that has to be Mania. I know a lot of people think Oba Roman needs to be Mania. I mean, I think it could have been SummerSlam, but at any point it could be something. What you could also do too is, depending on who wins Money in the Bank in October, you could have Oba. Here's an idea that incorporates maybe both of our ideas, Anthony. What if Oba calls in his title shot at the Royal Rumble, and whomever wins Money in the Bank pulls a Seth Rollins and steals the belt from Roman in that match, and then Oba enters the Royal Rumble later on that night, wins the Rumble, and whether Roman's champion at Mania again or not doesn't matter, but Oba gets that title match at Mania and wins it there. But more breaks in a bag of kick-ass. I know you're right, Dossie. I don't think at all that that's inconsistent storytelling, Anthony. I mean, I don't think that's too much faith to put in the storytelling, because like Triple H and the creative in WWE, I think they've proven that when they want to tell a story with good long-term booking, that doesn't have the unfortunate luck of injuries getting involved, they execute it just fine. I think it's just a matter of sometimes they have storylines that get over that they weren't planning to really get over, and they don't put the effort in to see those stories through. But if there's a story they actually want to get over and something weird doesn't get thrown in the mix, or no one gets injured, I think they've shown they can do that well. So we'll see. It's clear that Oba is a priority to them, though. So I'm not at all concerned that Oba won't win the title at some point. And I'm confident he'll beat Brock in Hell in a Cell too. Obviously I could be wrong, but I think that is, sometimes things are predictable in wrestling, but that still makes them good. We don't have to be, things don't have to be crazy unpredictable all the time. Things can be like, he's got so-and-so's got to win this match. And when they do, it's still fulfilling. And I think Oba's like that. Like, yeah, make him a monster, make him unbeatable a little bit more. And that's okay. Everybody can't be booked like that, but he can for now.
Of course, breaking news from just moments ago, Cody Rhodes not cleared medically to compete tonight in the WWE Championship match in our main event. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce telling Sami Zayn, "You will defend the title tonight." Also, do you think that means we get Cody versus Gunther at SummerSlam? Maybe. I know we keep leaning about Gunther versus Aldis, but like, Gunther just ruined Cody's chances of getting the title back. I'm just very curious. We'll have to see how it all shakes out. What if you have like a CM Punk or someone win the title from Sami tonight, and then Cody arrives too late? That could also be something. Takes down Rusev. Gable's got daylight, and Dragon Lee is ready to set the world ablaze. Gable can get there. Rusev trying to make the tag.
Gable making the tag to Dragon Lee. Giovanna's Money in the Bank champion is pretty wild, yeah. I think he'll have to be in the ladder match for sure. He's probably gonna deliver quite some memorable spots. I'm imagining. Think he'll do the OG cutter off the ladder?
There's the kick out of Page. Page hung up in the corner. Doesn't want to be there. Perilous situation for all ego.
Double stomp on Dragon Lee. Whoa, what a slap by Rusev, breaking up the pin.
Dragging Page in the corner so Rusev can make the tag. The time is now to Bangaranga. Double suplex incoming, and Chad Gable there as well.
Gable protects Dragon Lee from the double suplex. Angle slam. Oh, he eats a matcha kick. Dragon Lee with the roll up. Too much momentum, though. Ooh, kind of like a German suplex off the ropes. Dragon Lee. Goodness gracious, he's far away. Oh, he gets caught out of the air. Big slam. And a Machka kick there. And now Accolade coming up from Rusev. I don't see Gable anywhere. Dragon Lee going to tap. Yep, Dragon Lee taps. So Gable's protected there. Rusev looks like a monster. Rusev won't let go. Oh, here comes Gable in the background. And he wraps Rusev. He's going to deadlift German suplex him. But here comes Ethan Page to cut that off. Oh, and now Rusev with the accolade on Gable. Oh, here comes Joe Hendry. In his tight white pants. I kind of like the Rusev-Ethan Page pairing. It's not bad. It's better than the Ethan Page Ricky Saints pairing they had in NXT. But not as good as the Ethan Page Chelsea Green pairing. For real, Swaby. Gable is prime angle right now. All right, and now an accolade for Joe Hendry. I think that would be fun, Sophie Dopey, but with them being on two different shows, I don't see it happening anytime soon. Of course, Rusev's getting over like a monster, so he's likely not winning that gauntlet match, which is okay. But he can have a strong showing next week. I still want Gable taking that gauntlet match, though, for sure. Well, he's going for it again. Okay. Well, there we go. Oh, hurricane sighting. Shane Helms.
Fans can use their need telephone number on the back of the Chase Freedom card. No cash as the offer passcode to unlock first access to Money in the Bank tickets. Not a card member? Visit chase.com/freedom to learn more. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we saw the night kickoff of the attack on Cody Rhodes. We still know Sami Zayn's going to defend the WWE title tonight against Stu. But also, Seth Rollins kicked off the show. He was interrupted by LA Knight, who still has a problem with the bloodline. Let's take it back to Monday Night Raw.
All right, we're getting a recap of LA Knight beef with the Usos. Yeah, Swavey, Money in the Bank going to New Orleans. I feel like that's going to be a hot crowd. Of course, yeah, they were supposed to get Mania.
Abundantly clear he's not interested in Jimmy with Solo but this was earlier tonight when Jimmy Uso would collect his own receipt after being laid down.
There's Jimmy
Jimmy,
getting chased down by Kathy Redmond.
Question before you go. What was that with LA Knight earlier? I mean, what kind of message were you trying to send exactly?
Hey, Jackie, it seems like it's time for Big Jim to step up for the bloodline, which means I'm going to go to SmackDown. I'm going to get Solo. But after tonight, I can handle myself.
Oh, LA Knight say what? Oh, there's Jacob. Well, Jimmy and Jacob dropping LA Knight.
Well, with Cody Rhodes out, that man on appearance is working on finding a challenger to face Sami Zayn tonight.
All right. Well, Adam Pearce has attempted to call someone 3 times tonight and is leaving voicemails. So, who is he calling? Is it the challenger for Sami Zayn? Is it someone else? But it feels like we're coming up close to main event time because there's no other matches left tonight. And I got to wonder if we're going to get full match time for this title match or not.
Prescription medicine for moderate to severe obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA, in adults with obesity. A treatment that helps reduce breathing interruptions during sleep. Don't share needles or pens or reuse things. Don't take it for granted. Or if you or someone in your family have MTC or MEN2, tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Stop step-bound and call your doctor if you have severe stomach pain or a serious allergic reaction. Severe side effects may include inflamed pancreas or gallbladder problems. Tell your doctor if you experience vision changes before scheduled procedures with anesthesia. If you're nursing, pregnant, plan to be, or taking birth control pills. Taking Zepbound with sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Side effects include nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, which can cause dehydration and worsen kidney problems. Ask your doctor about Zepbound, game-changing treatment for OSA.
And Wingstop, it's all about flavor. Good fat, made for oil, every bite is different. And the range.
Yeah, you're right. Last name, no Danhausen segment yet tonight, but we still have a good half hour left in the show. So, that happened with the main event scene.
What you mean? It's a snap.
Live action Moana coming out soon. You know, I loved the animated Moana. That was one of the best classic animated movies they've done ever. Something missing from most, not all, but plenty of the live action remakes, though. There were some good ones though. Yeah, Cinderella was the best one. Pete's Dragon was good. That was very good.
For hours at a toy shop to meet me, and I made time for you to have a real conversation about your
Bailey giving us a promo.
anything to you. But to me, that's the foundation of where my respect for you began, where my trust in you truly began. Because I watched this girl who was just a fan become the first ever women's intercontinental champion, to then become my best friend, and stand right beside me at WrestleMania. And when I
The fake crash.
Yeah. Yeah, Bailey's like, my respect for you began when you were such a fan of mine that you stood in line for hours to meet me. Doesn't hit the way you think it does.
After all the heartbreaks I've been through, I never questioned my trust in you. I've shared my experiences and stories with you, thinking it would help guide you. But you just used it all against me. I just don't understand why you couldn't have an honest conversation with me about everything that was going on in your home. And instead, you took the easy way out. So, Lyra, I'm giving you one chance to prove to me that you're not just like everybody else. Meet me next week, face to face.
Okay, so Bailey and Lyra meet face to face next week. We'll see how that goes. I did see. Okay, so Brock's going to be on Raw next week out of Dallas. Yeah, congratulations to Mandy Rose, man. Good for her and her husband. Chris Wrestling Views, I'd love it if you were right, man. I would love to see Kevin Owens again. I mean, he's missed in the world title picture for sure. Roman will be in Dallas next week as well. All right, well, I guess it's time for us to figure out who's facing Sami Zayn for the title tonight, since Cody is out of commission. And there's Nick Aldis rolling up on Adam Pearce.
That's a funny way of saying thank you. Thank you for what? You see, while you were leaving voicemails, I placed a successful call, and I secured a replacement to face Sami Zayn in the main event.
So Nick Aldis is secured a
Is in the building. So the only thing left.
superstars in the building. Interestingly enough, Nick Aldis, who is on administrative leave, somehow secured the opponent for Sami Zayn. But, interesting. All right, well, we're 3 minutes away from finding out who it's going to be. I mean, this is a risky play if it's not CM Punk, because you can never know. You never can really trust if Chicago will not mutiny on that decision if it's not CM Punk. So we'll see what happens. They better not drag it out too far, because if it's not CM Punk and they just give us the dramatic pause, you know that crowd's going to be chanting for him like crazy. It'll be like that. What was it? What year was that Royal Rumble when everybody thought Daniel Bryan was going to be in the Royal Rumble, and then it was number 30 and it was Rey Mysterio, who, like, everybody loves Rey, but because it wasn't Daniel Bryan, they booed him out of the building. I know, it was so unfair, and everybody even it was almost even like in that moment later on after the fact. 2014, okay, no, it had to have been 2015, right? That was the year they all hated on Roman for winning. I don't know. No, maybe it was 2014. But yeah, even after the fact, people were like, man, we were really mean to Ray. But they just wanted, that was the year Batista won. Okay, then yes, 2014. Chris Wrestling Views, yes. Since it's not Cody, if someone does pull up tonight and win this title, Sami Zayn will officially be a transitional champion. Yes, this is what we would qualify as a transitional champion. No, Sophie Dophie, you're right. The year Batista won the second time was 2014. That was the year, ironically enough, that was the last match CM Punk had before he quit WWE, because he had said he got concussed in that match. And Roman was actually the second to last. He was in the final two that year, and the crowd was cheering for Roman to win because they really didn't want Batista to win that year. But really, it was just the fans rebelling for 2 years in a row because the person they did want to win wasn't even in the match. Well, Daniel Bryan wasn't even in the match at all in 2014, and he was eliminated very unceremoniously early in the match in 2015. Celeste, Bryan Danielson, he's still in AEW. I think he does commentary sometimes for them. But he hasn't wrestled, I want to say, in over a year. He does show, I don't know if he does regular commentary for them or if it's just occasional, but he's still very much connected to AEW. Last I was aware. All right, we're back plugging for Fanatics Fest. If you haven't spent enough money on WWE and want to spend more, go to Fanatics Fest in New York and pay for pictures and the expo and standing in line and all that good stuff. Judgment Day. Oh, there's another. What's up, CT Hill? Good to see you, man. You got to be ready for football season coming up in a month or two, man. Got to get things ready, man, for these dogs. Oh, AJ, hey, AJ in his own element, in his own channel, hopping in tonight. Get the popcorn ready. It's about to be clocked. He said that popcorn guy. I've been looking at Dusty this whole time over here. He would say clubbering instead of clobbering, and say, get that popcorn ready, Daddy. I'll tell you what, right now, AJ, if it ain't CM Punk, this has got to be the biggest philosophical misstep I can imagine, to be in Chicago, tease a world title contender, and it not be CM Punk. So we'll see what happens. Man, if it's Jey Uso or somebody, it's going to be hilarious. All right, JD versus Danhausen, Saturday night's main event, Saturday, July 18th. Either on Raw or SmackDown, I feel as if we get the return of Big Cass and Enzo. Could you imagine if it was Enzo? Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious, bro. Enzo versus Sami Zayn. I might fall on the ground. What a letdown that would be for that match. But yeah, Jay, listen, Jay's had a rough day, so he might not even be in the building. He might be, meeting with his lawyer or something. Who knows? So I can understand why Jay has been absent tonight. All right, so we'll see who Nick Aldis found for Sami Zayn. Much to the chagrin of Adam Pearce, who was also trying to find somebody to challenge Sami tonight. All right. Someone who continuously calls himself like the last real good guy, this sort of delusional babyface thing. If it's Baron Corbin, oh my gosh, not Baron Corbin. That would be brutal. It's got to be some kind of actual surprise return. I really hope it's not somebody who's just hanging around and catering, like they could do. Or could it be Randy? I think Punk is probably your main suspect right now. I think Randy's not out of the question. Kevin Owens would be a real dark horse here. But we'll see what happens here. The crowd really wants it to be CM Punk. So if it ain't, it better be a big surprise. Well, Sammy's ready. Let's listen closely. So it would be wild as if it was Oba Femi and they gave him this world title shot now. Yep. It's CM Punk, and they are giving him a very long entrance all the way from the garage. Albany, Georgia. Okay, CT Hill. 4th of July on Albany. Well, here comes Punk. Well, Sami, I hope you enjoyed your title reign. I don't think Punk left his apartment tonight in Chicago to come lay down for Sami Zayn. By the way, guys, just a reminder, dirt sheets on the internet never know anything about what's going on backstage in WWE. None of them. Doesn't matter how much they call themselves a journalist. They don't know. Enjoy wrestling a lot more when you just kind of watch the show. You can still not like what you don't like and criticize what you need to criticize, but don't get an idea in your head and then be mad that it didn't happen. Yeah, I know, man. Michael Hayes just sitting back like he's got a bag of Werther's Originals in his pocket. Punk kind of got a Metallica style new shirt. That best in the world, like red, white, and blue on the back of his shirt. Very Cena-ish. Feel like that's by design, no pun intended. WWE's Instagram is already sending photos, probably announcing that you can buy that shirt on WWEshop.com. Which is why you got to watch the shows, because if you're going to watch this later, you just got this spoiled for you. If you were out at Costco or wherever. Do I think Gunther will cost CM Punk the match? That's a good question, last name. Does Gunther get involved here? So Gunther has already been banned from the building, though. So he shouldn't be in the building at this point. We'll see if that ends up becoming the case. I think I'm okay. I know, man. Wrestling is funny how it can turn grown men into little kids again. Got a grown man, in his underwear in your face, and you're just like, yeah. And you do that on the subway, they want to throw hands. I don't get it, Anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna put up Swaby's comment while Punk is still making his entrance here, because this is a good way to understand the rhetoric online versus being a fan who actually putting yourself in the best position to enjoy wrestling. You know what I mean? Swaby Sean one says, a lot of the WWE criticizes, especially the ones on the internet, they want to control the WWE booking themselves. They can do so if they play the WWE game. They can book however they want it. Yeah, exactly. played 2K, and that's what GM mode and universe mode is for. Instead, a lot of people who call themselves wrestling fans are really just more interested in being right than they are being fans. And being fans doesn't mean you just take what they put out and you like it, whether it's good or not, but you do take it at face value, at least, you know? Yeah, there's a possibility Gunther could still be lurking around there somewhere. But boy, oh boy, that would be a lot of heat for Sami to get away from CM Punk tonight. And listen, hear me out on this. CM Punk is the kind of guy backstage now at this point in his career that would be like, you know what? Sami can win this match. I've done enough. But boy, oh boy, this crowd is raucous. Oh no, Punk gave his shirt to a little kid too. Oh boy. Yeah, Punk, I don't know. Right, Sophie Dophie, I know. You're in too deep if you get mad if your predictions go wrong. Like, we have fun with our predictions for PLEs, you know, you guys, me, A and B, just Alex, but nah, man. Yeah, he's got his Bret Hart colors on for sure. Will he get his own Montreal Screwjob tonight? We'll see what happens. So we got about 15 minutes or so, 15, 20 minutes to work with for this match. Not including commercial time.
Just 9 nights ago. What a first title defense.
Crowd is hyped to see CM Punk in their hometown. There you go. Mrs. Marked in with the great wisdom that she has. Oh, yeah, Dossie. Sami is 100% transitional champion if he loses this match. But you know what? For what it's worth, it is something he can always say that he was. Like, not the world champion like the belt Roman has right now, but being WWE champion. That is the Bruno belt, the Hogan belt, the Savage belt, the Flair belt, the Bret, Shawn, Austin belt. Like, that's the one that, you know, the people held, you know, the top guys. And Jinder Mahal. No, I don't think anybody's going to riot. I think the rioting days of WWE fans are long gone. You know, when I was in high school during the Monday Night Wars era of Raw and Nitro, especially WCW, man, when crowds were really mad, they'd start throwing trash in the ring. You just see the ring like full of like paper cups and sodas and stuff being thrown in, hitting Hulk Hogan in the head. Scott Hall's slick hair already get wetter and everything. I don't think the current WWE fandoms have the guts to do that anymore. All right. It wouldn't be Raw without another commercial break. So here we go. Well, how do you guys feel about CM Punk being the challenger?
Tuesday fried chicken, Wednesday wings, Thursday tenders, Friday nuggets again. Now that's living life to the fullest.
Yeah, so we're looking at what, 3 months almost since Punk's last match. So it's nice seeing a fresh matchup, like Sophie Dovey said. Right, I know. Yeah, it's crazy the way wrestling fans can voice their displeasure and who bears the brunt of that. Oh man.
So sorry.
That's all right.
I guess cereal for dinner.
Cereal it is. Hey, how was practice today? Great. I scored 2 goals. Wow, that's super.
You wouldn't see it there on the floor. Just like you wouldn't have anyone but Morgan and Morgan handle your injury case. With over $30 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to the bid.
You okay, honey? I'm okay.
Morgan and Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Why didn't you work?
Did you sell?
No, of course not. I was looking down on us from above.
He's down.
Yeah, it's wild to consider Jinder Mahal in that list. I mean, listen, when Jinder won that title, he was in the best phase of his career. It wasn't like, Vince Russo or David Arquette winning the WCW title. But still, Jinder, I don't know. I always saw Jinder as like a U.S. title, Intercontinental title level guy. So, yeah, it feels like a bit of cognitive dissonance to consider him one of the WWE champions. Because even in that time frame, you had the Shield guys, Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns, and you had Bryan Danielson and Drew McIntyre, and who's the one I was thinking? AJ Styles. All those guys. And Jinder just doesn't click with me on that one. Yeah, beating Randy. Yeah, that was a weird time. And also, I think one of the things that made that run so disappointed by so many fans is that was when Shinsuke had a chance to be champion, and I think they didn't headline a SummerSlam, but they were the title match at a SummerSlam that year, 2016, 2017, and Nakamura lost to Jinder. Jinder is by far the worst WWE champion in the lineage. Again, he's not the worst wrestler or anything like that. He's not the worst wrestler to ever hold a major title. But of that title's lineage, he is the easy worst call. Well, technically Vince McMahon is, but he won it and relinquished it like by the next TV show. So he's technically on the list. So I guess in a technical sense, he's the worst one. But out of people who won the title and actually lost it, Jinder's the worst one. Easily. Punk going up for a go to sleep. Oh, nope. But he meets Sami with a clothesline. Sami back up. JBL wasn't a bad WWE champion. People hated him the way they should have hated him because he beat Eddie Guerrero for it, someone everybody loved. He really leaned into his character and got a lot of hate, the right kind of hate. And he dropped it to John Cena. So, like, he was a fantastic, he did fantastic at his job, which is, crushing the hearts of people by taking it from a beloved champion and then lost it to the next real beloved champion, John Cena. So, I didn't like JBL when he was champion either, but I can recognize that he did his job and he did it well. Punk going for that GTS again. This has been a good surprise, right? But there is something to this, right? That like Punk and Sami's first match being a Raw main event. I don't want to say disappointed, but like I feel like these two could probably put together a much better match if they weren't getting cut with commercial breaks. That part has been a little disjointed, but it hasn't been a bad match. And the crowd is alive. They are so alive for this. Yeah, Swaby. Yeah, no. Brock has been a nightmare for all the brothers who have won the title. Kofi, Big E, The Rock. Who else did he beat for it? Bobby. Yeah. Chris, it would be pretty bold. Pretty bold to have shenanigans. Man, we get another commercial break. Like, there's only like 8 minutes left in the broadcast, I think. This is insane. I miss NXT. NXT does not do us like this. It is wild. Maybe they're going longer tonight because it's very strange to have a Sorry, I am seeing an ad for a game on Netflix that looks like an interactive story you can play called Unhinged. Strange. But if they're going to an ad break again with what should normally be 8 minutes left in the broadcast, maybe the broadcast is going to go a little longer tonight because it's in Chicago or because it's got a WWE title match. I don't know. But anyway. Chicago's just like a big market town. So if they were in like LA or Madison Square Garden or somewhere that's done a lot of business for them over the years. Yeah, Swaby. That's typically the experience I get when we watch NXT is they show you the little slideshow of all the promo photos of the wrestlers during commercial breaks instead of other ads. So I'm surprised they're not doing like any picture-in-picture kind of stuff because at least NXT does that. You know, you can see the match keep going. Yeah, I feel like Raw could benefit from some picture-in-picture. It wouldn't feel like the ads are as overwhelming if they incorporated that a little bit more because these dudes definitely keep wrestling through the break. So I don't see why not. I think even SmackDown does picture-in-picture. But it doesn't seem like Raw does. All right. 10 seconds, and we can back to hopefully wrap up this match. We'll see what we get. All right. We're back. The return of CM Punk challenging WWE Champion Sami Zayn, making his return in Chicago, as he likes to do.
For 60 years. WWE title. We're seeing right now.
Also, will Punk win back the title that The Rock took from him all those years ago? Because Punk hasn't had this belt since his 430-some day reign. Up on the shoulders again. Yes, Waby, I would agree on The Rock too. It hasn't so far, Sophie Dophie. I'm hoping that continues to be the case. Punk just did the Hogan ear thing. And then he just ate a blue thunder bomb. Yeah. These guys, their cardio's still working. I'm very curious where this does leave everybody, though. If Punk wins in the build-up to SummerSlam. Yeah, he definitely seemed like he had to deadlift Punk into that Blue Thunder Bomb. I don't know if Punk is heavier or if he just didn't get up in time or if there was something else. But Punk throwing those knees. Now going for that Bulldog. Punk going up for that elbow. Elbow off the top. Kind of a sloppy elbow, if I may say so myself. Makes me miss Kyrie Sane. Anaconda Vice, middle of the ring. What are we going to have? Crowd's getting louder. Is it because a tap is coming or is there somebody visible? Oh, Sami, good defense trying to get his leg up over there. Is he going to tap? He's fighting. Oh, Sami's got kind of like a triangle. Okay, and he breaks the Anaconda Vice. Sharpshooter. Speaking of Montreal. But Sami kicking away. Now, possible go to sleep. No. Oh, another roll up. Just the way he won it. Oh, 2.9. Man, Sami almost second verse same as the first, the way he beat Cody. Crowd is loud and understandably pro CM Punk. All right, exchanging hands. Another, nope. Go to sleep, misses. Now Sami hits a go to sleep on Punk. Woo! 2.9. Well, you know, Swaby, the Rock's version of the sharpshooter is so unrecognizable to what a sharpshooter actually looks like. He probably didn't need Brett's permission. And he also started doing it when Brett was kind of persona non grata in WWF, like after he'd been screwed and left and went to WCW. So I bet they didn't ask for his permission. Punk can't hardly stand up. Stands up, falls back down, making his way to the corner. Punk gearing up for that Aluva kick. He's waiting. Kick and nope. Exploder into the corner. They're move stealing in this match. They're in the move stealing portion of the match. So we'll see if we're going into overtime because we're up against the end time of the show. So we'll see what happens. Punk, we're going to go for a Haluva kick. Sami, again, go to sleep on Punk. And now into a Blue Thunder Bomb. Only two. This has been a good match. Yeah, whoever wins this match should be champion going into SummerSlam. I don't see why they wouldn't be. This crowd has been heavily invested in this match the entire time. Yeah, Swaby, you're right about that. Oh, man, heavy slap from Sami and a headbutt. Another slap. Man, he's just paintbrushing Punk across the face. Chris, I think that there's some guys who have a little bit of an implicit trust with each other that allow for a little bit of snug slapping. Because they're like, just make it, you got to make it look good. And sometimes for it to look good, it's got to be real. So I imagine there's a few guys who let people do that. But I don't think that's standard operating procedure for everybody in the locker room. But Punk and Sami, oh, man, he tried the haluva kick, but Punk got out of the way just in time. Now Punk going to go for a haluva kick, and he caught him. Now Punk, he's got Sami up for a go to sleep. This could be it, everybody. Got him right in the middle of the ring. 1, 2. Well, Sami, it's been real. Transitional champion. CM Punk walks into Chicago and is now WWE champion again for the first time since 2012. Michael Cole just said it. Summer of Punk #2. Well, there you go. Sami's still laying there, can barely sit up. Huh? Yeah. Chicago is super, super hyped. CM Punk's got that title now, holding it up. Punk is, Chicago is loud. But yeah, Punk reestablishes himself in the lineage of WWE champions. Well, Cody, you got a different man holding that belt now. Now, will we go off the air with Punk celebrating, or will a challenger emerge? Because I'm sure Cody's got something to say about this. He said over 20 minutes. Packed house. Well, congratulations to CM Punk. Congratulations to Sami Zayn for winning the title, for adding that to his resume, even though he didn't hold it for very long or have any successful title defenses. But you know what? He did it, and that was a good match. It was a good match, him and Punk. One of the better Raw TV matches of the year. Oh, Punk with a little blow in the kiss. Shades of 2011 when he first beat Cena for the title in the same building. Yeah. All eyes on CM Punk's refrigerator now to see if it puts this belt in that one too. All right. Well, big return, big surprise, big champion. Landscape is changing as we're heading towards SummerSlam in a few weeks. And we got a new WWE champion. We got new tag team champions too on the way there. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for coming along tonight and joining me. as I hopped on an unconventional night for me. But that being said, I'll see you guys same time tomorrow because we're going to watch some NXT. There's going to be a title match there tomorrow as well, and 2 number 1 contender matches. So now's as good a time as any. If you haven't jumped on to NXT, jump on to Mark by Wrestling with me tomorrow and join the show. It's a lot of fun. So we'll see you all then, same time tomorrow. And until then, like I always say, before I say goodbye, don't forget to be a mark. Being a mark means you believe. Believing makes wrestling better. Solid Raw. You guys have a great rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow for NXT.